Yay. See if I can. Yeah. So here I am today working on the project. Actually, I don't know how much you can see. I'm gonna. Can you guys see all this? On my capture, I'm seeing like a blank window, which is kind of annoying. Be nice if it would just capture the whole thing. Let's see. It's getting Maya. Can I not just get the whole Maya window? Here's the graph editor. It doesn't even show the details on the graph editor. I wonder if there's like a filter for OBS specifically. Uh, There's that. Yeah, because it grabs this, but it doesn't capture the other stuff. Do you, when I'm working, can you guys see this? You can see the mouse. It's so bizarre. How bizarre. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. I really don't like broadcasting my whole desktop. What are my options inside this window capture? Let me try window of same executable. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to spend more time tinkering with OBS than actually doing what I gotta do. So I'm here, um, once again, trying to get these characters in and cleaning up their animations and that sort of thing. I'll swap this one um, for this one, I guess. Actually, I wonder if I could do capture specific windows. See if I can capture. Nope, it won't capture that way. Well, look, we have infinite uh, stuff. Anyway, so I'm in here, tinkering around, trying to get this character um, acceptable. Currently, I have it switched to IK. I still don't have IK FK matching. One of these days, I'll build it. Um, but there's the FK. So if you were watching this before, I did the him facing to the right. Now I've got him facing to the left. And when his legs switch, there's a bit of a jitter. So I'm trying to get that kind of cleaned up. So this is kind of like my method. So you can see there's a bit of a jerk at the end of that animation cycle. Now I like how well his feet are. They're getting planted. They're not really sliding all that much. But I don't know that I'm all that happy with that. So one of the ways to smooth out the jitter. So if I grab um, his main control here and get all of the controls, I made a selection group. Make sure I grab that. If you're working with joints, you just select your joints. Anyway, so frame one, and if I move this, frame one and my last frame are identical, right? So that goes through, it gets the last frame, and then it jumps back to here. And then it should smoothly go back in. But for some reason, from here to there is a bit of a trying process. So let's say like I drop this down to 96. Oops, right here. Um, so you cut off the last frame. That way the two are not completely identical, but it should be leading into that frame. But I still have a little bit of a jitter. What I can do is I can go through and delete any frames up to a certain point to kind of smoothen that out. So this frame, um, I'll just get rid of that. Maybe test it from there. A little bit better, but he's got this like launching effect for some reason. Go ahead and get rid of the next frame up. We'll let Maya and do some interpolation. So that bit of a slow startup. So I can continue down the line, or I can work to try to smoothen that out. Um, to take the lazy approach is to go through and remove any additional frames that I don't need. And I've already gone through and just taken a check. So obviously I need frame one, I need frame 90, whatever my frame is. I have 94 on the map, but 97. But my middle frame is 49. So I can remove everything between my start frame and my end frame. So if I come up to my graph here, make sure I have everything that I want selected. Where's 49? I'll move my little cursor. There's 49. So if I cut frame one to whatever that is, snip that, and then cut whatever this is to my last frame, cut that. And this doesn't work with every animation. It just so happens that there's a starting position, and he's always doing is rotating into some point and then rotating back. So for that, because it's very repetitious, I can find a start point, a midpoint, and then an end point, and then I can just let that run. And you can see this is a heck of a lot smoother with very little effort on my part. The only issue here is the feet. You can see the feet are kind of sliding. So what I can do here, this is better if you have an IKFK switchable rig, but what I can do is I can take um, my rig here and where I may just be able to do it right here on these. So whatever the position of this foot is, I can just copy that. I don't think the position has changed much from here to there, but let's take a look. You can see some positions changed. Let me see if I just paste in that foot. It's a bit weird, but let's see how much it moves. There's a lot of movement, right? Let me take that off. Let me try switching my controls here. I'm gonna get my main foot joint or main foot control here. That's right foot IK. If I go and look through my hierarchy, I'm looking for, am I an IK or FK? One of the downsides about having this referenced over is it references the whole name and it's a lot more to look through. Uh, that's the wrist. I want, this main foot control going to, that's my right foot, right? Right foot, toe, ankle. So I'm going to try to match that to the other one. Wonder why that's way up there. There's the ankle control, right? Well, that's not good. Where is it? Oh, I matched it to the group. My bad. That's not matched to the group. We're going to match to the ankle control. Huh. That's quite a bit off for that foot position. There's a very good chance that I have a mismatch on the control. So let's go up and take a look at this one. This has a world orient on it. Let me switch back. Yeah, so this one has been oriented on that joint. So what I would have to go through on the rig and um, make sure that those match orientation, because this one is definitely going in the direction of that joint right here. So one of the best practices when it comes to the dealing with like the hands and feet is just orienting them to the world because of this issue. Since I didn't do that earlier, it's one of the things we have to go do, unfortunately. Um, but because this is a reference, I can do that on the original, and then when I reload it in, it should be okay. But that means I can't use my switch. I can't switch the rig to get that fixed right this second. But it's all right. I can deal with what I got. This is a lot smoother here, and I can always worry about fixing the feet situation later. So let's say I'm happy with that. I gotta get my controls. Now the two different animations here. I have the facing to the right, I believe is 55 frames. So let me save this one. Oops. Let me go back. I'm in my raw folder. Let me go back up to my cleaned folder. Here's my left cleaned. Stance left cleaned. Okay. So here's this one. Let me go to the other one. This is the right. So here's my right, and the right is frame 1 to frame 55. And you can see this one as it is. From last time, I did not fix that. It's got a bit of a pop, right? I'm going to go through the process of fixing this one as well, but I will um, keep it at 55. So I'll go ahead and just grab that um, selection set, and then same deal. Where's my mid frame? So I'm at frame 1. He turns, and then after some point, he's going to start going back. So I got to find out where he's going to start going back. So after frame 30. So this one, he's kind of there, kind of there, kind of there. So where exactly is my center frame? So 50, 25. I'm at 55. So I'll keep this 31. I'll just eyeball it on here. So that's already at my mark. Frames that I don't need. And frames that I don't need. Let's see how well that is being kept. And that's actually pretty quick. So I might keep it at um, the 97 frames. I might just stretch that out to 97. So let's do that. Let's put this. Let's make it. Let's do 95. Let's do 95 to there. I will grab this frame. I can grab this and move it here on the timeline, but it's actually a lot nicer if I just move it here. So the experience has been moving it here is just cleaner. I can do it over here. Shift and then click on the frame, and then I can just move it. But you see, depending on where I grab that handle, I can be moving the frame or I can be extending that frame over a period, which I don't want to do. I just want to move it. The end result should be about the same as doing it here. But I want that to be at 95. So yeah, that looks good there. What do I do with my phone thing? Oh man. Half awake. Time of the day my brain shuts off. Okay, so this is, I need to go to um, 47. As I'm doing that, I'm just middle mouse dragging, um, pressing on a middle mouse to get this widget or this little movement handle, and I can just move this. Now, if you don't hold shift, you have a risk of skewing the heck out of your animation. So by holding shift, you are constraining to a specific axis. So if I hold shift and then middle mouse, I can drag and it'll kind of constrain. So now if I go up or down, I'm not screwing that up. I can only go left or right. Of course, it bases it off of your initial movement, so you got to be a little bit precise in the beginning. You also want to make sure you have either your pointer or your translation tool selected. If you have scale, you can stretch the animation. If you have rotation, you can do some stuff to it. Um, but these two are usually pretty good. So 47, this needs to be 95, and I'll extend that out. Let's see how that plays. Not bad. I'll save this one. Um, since I'm happy with it, I need to get the skeleton. Where are you at? take my skeleton, and then I will bake simulation. Um, for this one, I will just bake every key. I don't need all the keys, but I'll just bake what I got. And then I'll just do, yeah. And I can grab that. And I should just be able to export over the previous animation. So where are you at? Mocap cleaned. Did I not? Oh, this is OBJ. That's why. Um, where is you? Does it bother you when you say things grammatically incorrect or syntactically incorrect? Okay, so I have an idle stance left and a turn. I'm going to get my idle stance right, which is what I think I'm on. 1 to 95. Let's export over. Let me go ahead and open up the left one. Now before, to get my left and my right, all I did was spin them around, but that doesn't work only because of where the foot placement is. So when he's facing this side of the camera, his foot is here, and when he's facing this side of the camera, this foot's back. So I have to make sure the feet match position so that when he does the actual step, the feet match. Um, anyway, so I'm gonna grab him, and same kind of dealio. I need to extend this. So I've got that out to 96. Let me do 95. And I'll grab all of the relevant things. So 95. And then I need 47. Their weird calendar made me 47. Yeah, but I like being 35. I can rent a car. It's because you're lame. It's a shame that everything after season 3 just went downhill. Season 4 was okay. There were some most of season 4 was crap, but a couple of episodes here and there were worth watching. Anyway, let's see how that goes. And it's okay if you have variance between your left and your right animations. Nothing's ever perfect. Well, but that should be close enough. And I'm going to grab the skeleton, select all that I care about, and let's bake simulation. And I will export over me left stance. Stance left. I didn't check the values, but I assume the values are correct. Um, and I'm gonna go ahead and open a different file just so I don't save over this one. Doesn't really matter. I need to fix the run anyway. Um, how about my left and right turning? So in this, he's doing a full step over in turn. I actually want to do something less um, involved. Just a simple, he's facing here and he goes, there's less movement. It's easier to do, and you just shift, and then should be lining up directly with what he needs. Come on, cat. Why do you take up the whole seat? I know, but my butt is going numb on the corner of the seat. Also, fidget spinner. Why is that satisfying? You want a fidget spinner? I'm sorry. I don't know if you can see that. She looked at it and she went to sniff it and it bumped her nose and she's like, "Oh." She complained. Mama used to have a thing here. I'll put this pillow here. I'll put up a pillow. Yeah, and you can sit on the pillow like this. And then you can sit in my lap like that. And then maybe I can work. I don't think this is going to work out for me. Part of the reason I sit the way that I do is I'm blind and I can't see this crap. Okay. I'm looking so far away from the screen I can't read any of this text. Let's where yes, and then that. Hi. Hi, you. You're cute. Popo is over there. You probably can't see her though. She's tiny, cute. She just got fixed. And she's being a brat by climbing on everything. It's like you do know half your innards are outers, right? Alright, let's get this. What am I doing to. There we go. Loading up some Unreal. Okay, so we got that. Let's see how well this works. Unreal's usually pretty good at re-importing things. So I'll go to my animations, and I need to get those are my walks. Idle stance left. Maybe I can just re-import some import bone issues. But it did import. Looks right. Much smoother. Okay. And I will re-import the other thing. By the way, if you're in Unreal 5 and it really irks you that you have to keep opening and closing your menu, there is a dock option right here. And you don't have to mess around with that. Anyway, where is my stance right? Idle stance right. Re-import. Yeah, whatever. So we got one, we got the other. So if I'm on this side, I should be facing him this way. Now, one thing I might need to do is just rotate him 180 so that he's facing correct. So let's do a test. So there's that flipping thing that I was telling you about um, on the animation. It's doing a forced flip that way. So he's technically facing that way. Okay, so facing this way is correct. The foot's in the right spot. Facing that way, he should be a 180 flip. So let me go ahead and stop that. I'll jump into my left. And let me do that here. Import rotation, 90. Let me see, can I show the bone? I need to rotate around. I think it's 180. I couldn't see which one that was. I'm going to assume it's Z though. I'm going to do 180. Okay. See that? Uh, this is one of the headaches with the animation is it's not so straightforward on the turning process. Oh, well, I might have to do the fix in Maya. Also, the turn to get there. Again, too many steps. Let me flip that in Maya and see how that comes out. Is it this one? Turn left. Okay. What was I flipping to make this easy? I think I was taking um where's my root? Um oh, I don't remember what I was doing. I did a very quick and dirty way of flipping him. I don't remember what I did before. So I'm gonna jump out of this one. Let me go into the right clean. Let me see. Where's my other left? It's my right to left turn. And I jump back in and wing it. Because normally I would just take the main control and I would rotate that. Whatever. Which is fine, but I wasn't doing that in this instance. I think I was doing it off of um, my rig parent here. Yeah, because this has nothing on it. And then, whoops. Okay, so it must not have been that one because that's not taking the whole rig with it. Which one was I doing? I could do the main control, but I don't really want to do the main control. Might be this one. Nope, that one's driven by those. Let's try this one. The downside about not remembering is I gotta wing it. Okay, and that should theoretically still operate the same. I really hit that noise. It is designed to destroy all concentration. This is left, correct? Yeah. Idle stance left. I'll re-export over. Let me bring that back in. Left. If I don't change any import controls, what is the default? Okay. Is that correct? Still have a flipping problem. So the turn. You're gonna have to match. What are you doing? Hi, what are you doing? Hi, 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 honey. You should not be jumping. Come here. You know, Mama doesn't like it when you're on her computer. Huh, I gotta fix this flipping issue. See what I did there? Do whatever. But anyway, this is the headache, right? I can't just swap between animations because of that BS. Um, you got to plan these stupid things out, and that's just a frustrating headache. Whereas if I were doing it in 2D, it doesn't matter. I can take my all my animations going in one direction and just flip, one of the values, like flip its x-axis, and it'll mirror. Um, so what other options do I got? Um, that one looks fine there. Let me do on here. I'm not going to save that. Let's grab. I got to go back to one of my raw files here. I don't know which one is which, so I'll just try this one. So there's that version of it. But I don't like that step over, so I'm going to get this. If I remember correctly, it was, and I don't remember correctly, that's why I'm guessing. Let's try this one. That's not as bad, but that's still more than I want him to do. Like that to that stance, or this to that stance. Like this would be nice. But he doesn't take, he's not going from one screen facing direction to the other screen facing direction. That's if you're facing one side of the screen and you're in Mortal Kombat and you want to change your stance. That's what we're seeing here. So I need to be more creative, I guess. I had that file. I just don't know what to do with that file. Honey, you can't be doing this. You can't. You're gonna hurt yourself. Ugh. Honey. No, no. You're gonna end up tearing that incision. Uncle, come here. You want to give me? You want to give me? Okay. You want to get my fingers? You get my finger? You gonna get my finger? Mm. I know what you want. I know what you want. Mm. So her favorite toy is a napkin. That's Her favorite is toy. Ah, TV. Ah, it's mine, TV. Get her. I'm gonna make it difficult for you. TV. Ho 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 ho. You don't know what's happening. Ah, there it is. Ah, it's mine. It's mine. I want her to stay active. I just don't want her to be jumping. Oh, one of her favorite games is I'll take the paper towel, throw it, and she'll jump and do a backflip and catch it. She loves that. But I can't let her do it right now. It's mine. Okay. Um, let's see here. Oh man, my brain is dead. I can't think. No, maybe in the motion capture. Let me get my left stance raw. Unfortunately, I think I saved over it, but I'm gonna go ahead and open it anyway. Let's see, do I have the whole animation? No, it's just that portion. Okay. So I will need my stance. What is this one? Is this one available? He doesn't have the rig. I need the one with the rig. Actually, let me go back for that. Just a second here. Yeah, that's a reference. It's just weird because I built this earlier, um, like earlier today, and I don't recall going through the step of pulling it in as a reference. I mean, I must have done it, but I don't remember doing it. Maybe it was just from idle stance raw. Yeah, okay, it was from here. So I have these and that, but the thing that I care about is this. So from that stance, That's way too much stepping. Let me see what I have on my motion capture. So stance, and I'm just shuffling. And then we shuffle back. That's all I want. But I don't like how that's not so clean. Let's see what this one is. I mean, the jump would be cool, but that's not changing from front to back. That's just changing um, the angle of the stance. So I thought I saw one that I liked in here. I'll just run it. Come on now. One, you're not supposed to jump. And two, you're not supposed to be on the computer. She wants to play. She's so bored. I. She's been cooped up in the house. She's not allowed to go outside. Can't get dirt in that. It's a really harsh step over. And then like a reshuffling of that foot. Hi. Here's a change stance. And another harsh step over. So yeah, I may have to re-record what I want to do here. Um, we don't need two animations playing at once. Let's go back over here. What was this? 3? How about 4? Is there anything good in 4? That might be subtle enough. But the legs aren't perfect, so I might have to worry about how to blend those into each other. Do you hear her being a brat? So a very subtle shift, which is nice. Breakdancing. Whee! I think that's not as harsh as the other one, but that angle is a problem. Maybe I just center that up though. But what about going back the other way? Not nearly as deep of a stance though. See how the foot placement is here versus there. That foot's not quite as far out, and you can see there's a bit of a angle shift. Might be able to do something with it though. Here's which one is this? Stance 4. How about stance center? I think this is the one that I captured that I'm actually using. No. Stance center 2. Hi. Don't hurt yourself, hon. Hi. Careful. Here, you want to be on the pillow? You want to be on the pillow? Tee hee. This is why I get so little done. I get so little done. It's like having chillins. It's like having chillins. Hmm. So that's pretty good. I like that. I don't like the correction of the heel at the end, though. So what I would probably do is I would take the position here. I would do to here, but I would cut out all the roll on that heel. I would probably just drop it and then get the turn back. So let me see if I can take this bit out. That's right around 2400 frames. Idle stance, centered 2. I'll go ahead and export. I have my human IK for Maya, check all my boxes. Yeah. Hmm. Hey, Faye the Gee. I'm doing well. Um, yeah. Can I give a heart? Really, it's gonna make me sign in? What a jerk. I just closed a dockable window. Ah, it's fun. I'm not gonna sign in on the stream if it's not doesn't have me automatically signed in. But docs. Let me get my chat back up. So yeah, doing well, doing well. Um, Glad to see you're here to join. I'm just farting around with motion capture while I'm barely awake. Okay. Let me open up. Actually, I'll do a new document. Yes. And then I will reference my character wherever he is at. Um, Let me save this as um, kind of want to just save over that one, but I'm using it. I will do this as bind pose. Bind pose reference. And then I need to create a character definition for the other skeleton. So I'll get my Axis Studio stuff. I think I'm outputting to here. That is the centered animation. 60 FPS. Yep. Get you. Character definition. Axis Studio. Make sure this goes back to my Axis Studio folder. Where you at? Where have I been putting these Maya files? Here I have. This is idle turn. That's the bit that I want to capture, so let's go back and open up that file. Okay, so I've got him back. And let's go ahead and get that reference for the other character. Where is that? Yes. Make sure that I'm on 60 FPS. And since I don't know all of the animation, that goes out to wherever this is. Was that 3202. I have to like really squint at that. 3202. 3202. Yay. And we will bake that. Oh, hi, cat. Glad to see you there, bright-eyed and bush-tailed. You're cute and fuzzy. Yeah, I'm gonna bake to the rig. Let's reset this. I'll do by one. And I'll capture all the frames. Yes. So, Faye the Gay, how you been? Or did you hop off already? Probably hopped off. Uh, what is my wife saying to me? Um, that makes me die inside a little bit. So my inner death comes from I was trying really, really hard to avoid socializing for Christmas, but my sister wants to socialize for Christmas. It's the natural thing that people want to do, and I'm like, no, I'm an adult. I can refuse. And we will save this as the raw footage of uh, mm, call it idle turn raw. The part that I wanted was around 2300, right? So 1500, I'll start there. I get one turn and then one more turn. Let me cut that down to 2600. And I have 2 bits of this that I want to keep. You know, he's relatively center, which is nice. That arm is totally messed up though. Something I'll have to fix. Where's that hand at? All right, so 1615. It's a good starting point for there. What? How am I out of place? Yeah, it looks like 1615. I must have clicked something weird. Okay, so 1615 is a good starting point. The step and then the turn. And then 1700. So I think the first order of business is going to be to just get him on the ground. And then, because I want to get the entire animation on the ground. So I'll just grab that rig. Doesn't really matter where any of this stuff is. Actually, I just need the pelvis. And my X translate, I think, is what I'm using. Okay. Let's go back to frame one here. Okay. That part I'll save. As far as centering him, maybe his forward position and his Z position. I think that's center visually. His body's kind of tilted though. There is that from the front. It's kind of like doing this. So that's probably going to be a manual fix, going in there and fixing where that spine is. Same thing where the eye line is. That eye line is just tracking very weird. He's way over there. His hand. All right. I am seeing a little bit of off center in the front. So I'll grab that Z value. A little bit better there. This is definitely where IK would be really good because I could just shift the body. FK, it's a little more work, but that's okay. So I've got him relatively in a position I like. I can save this part. And then this piece has to be consistent with my camera here. So this piece with his left leg forward is really him facing to the right. So this is right to left. So turning from right to left. I'm gonna save over my old one, I think. Or maybe I'll iterate. Problem with iterating is I'm gonna be like, well, which one am I using? Most likely the next iteration up, but then I have to go check them, which I don't like doing. All right, so I got this one. I'm gonna bake this down to just these frames. Um, my selection set there. Let's key this. We'll bake it down. Let's do every third frame, and I will remove any extra keys, and I'll bake. This last frame versus that frame, these two are more or less identical, so I'll just snip that one. Not sure what's going on with your arm there, but what else? Since this animation doesn't loop, I'm happy keeping some of these frames. I don't have to worry about it resetting. I just need to worry about it blending into the next animation. But Unreal handles the blending part pretty well, so that's that. And you might think, well, you could just run this in reverse, and maybe I can. But sometimes in reverse gets weird. Okay, let's say I'm happy with this. I do want to set this back down to 1. So 1. This is just a personal preference of mine. I like having my starting frames at a logical place. I do have all the animations, right? Or all the thingamajigs. I'll get this. Let me frame that, and then let's move that over. Looks like a weird, like, squid thing. Some weird alien creature. Somebody could take this and make it, call it the Maya monster. What was my last frame? I didn't even look. 85. So 1 to 85. What's this 85 thing? A couple of us took a look at his personnel file the day he arrived. What's his IQ? Alien 3 is very underrated. People didn't like it because it was different. It did have some messy bits in there for plot reasons, but it was a unique take on the franchise. They had already done aliens in space on spaceships, and then they did aliens on the planet um, for the home world, and now they're doing the aliens on um, a penal colony, with Ripley being the only one who really knows what's going on, which is typically how it went, right? In Aliens, she was the only one that really knew what was going on. And they're like, yeah, blah 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 blah, but they recruited her, and you had Space Marines, but then you had her being the only one that was of sound mind, and everybody else was like, there's aliens everywhere. I thought it was a fun premise. Okay, so which way is my camera supposed to be facing? Where's my compass? There's my compass. Okay, so he needs to start from there, and he's going to turn to the left. So on Unreal, I'd actually be viewing him from this side. And I did save that, right? Right to left, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take the skeleton. I'm going to bake to the skeleton. I'll bake simulation. I can just bake all for him. It doesn't really matter. And then I can take him and export over the previous one. So this is going to be stance right, turn left. Yes. Jump back into here. Where are we? Let's run to the right. Where is stance right, turn left? Let's redo this one. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and just take a look at it. I don't know. That might be fine. This is why I save the iterations. If I don't like what I do, I can always go back. So let's re-import that. You know what I didn't do? I'm pretty sure I baked only the root joint. Looks like I baked only the root joint. Let me grab a different joint here. Anyone will do. I only baked the root joint. Well, that's why we have the option to do things over. And I just did it again. Let me select all the joints in the hierarchy here. Okay, let's try rebaking. There we go. Right to left. Yeah, yeah. It's a little wobbly by comparison, you know? Little boop boop. That's okay. We got that one. We'll see that. How does that look? I still have a spinning issue. Oh, ugh. That goes to the right, right going to the left. With you getting a full spin back around, what is the dealio with that? How did I rotate him on here? Right, so he's going from facing to the right, facing to the left. From my camera perspective here, Z needs to be pointing to the right. Okay. Let me go to my other animation. That was my left cleaned. Every other one, right? Here's my left cleaned. Now this has to be this way. He needs to be facing that way. From that camera position, I'll go ahead and grab that again. This one, right? I want to make sure when I rotate that I rotate relative to the direction that the thing is turning. I think last time I went that way, so I'm going to rotate this way. That gave me negative 210. We do a minus 180. Every key. Idle stance left. Where's my idle stance left animation? That's better. So that, so now he's getting there, and the blending to that isn't terrible. I mean, it's okay. It's pretty bad, but it's not him flipping around back to where he was. So that's progress. And then going back to this way, he needs to turn the other way. So he's turning away from the camera. So he needs to turn toward the camera. So that's toward the camera there. He's turning away from the camera there. And then the feet have to shuffle to recalculate to blend in. So what can I do for that? Go back and get that animation for the other side. Oh. Which one do you like better? Anybody care? Do you like the that step or that step? So this is like one, I don't know, like this one I think looks nicer, but that one's quicker. More steps, fewer steps. Now those feet sliding into position, I might be able to fix that using IKs in Unreal, just to keep the feet planted in certain places. Um, I'll have to take a look at what my options are. Should I blend it in Maya or do I blend it in Unreal? Let's stop that. Let's see. And I want to go the other direction, right? So that one's good. I want to go back to the raw footage of my idle turn. And I can actually load these up and kind of compare. You can see how far off the feet are relative to the other one. So this to 17 got me here. I could just run this in reverse, but I'm not going to do that. I actually have a version of it out of that stance. So, oh, man, thinking is hard. I was talking with one of my teachers, one of my colleagues today, or well, even today, it was last week, and we were discussing how really this has always been around, but how people just don't like to think. We're blaming this generation, but realistically, across the board, people just don't like to think. Um, and we were just having that discussion and complaining about it, and we had three kids in the room, and I was like, "Look, I'll prove it to you. People don't like thinking." And I went to the first kid and I said, "Hey, do you like to think?" And he's like, "No." Went to the next kid, like, "Do you like to think?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "All right, number three, how about you?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "See, 100% of the of the room of them, the only ones who enjoy thinking are the adults, and of those, I'm probably sure that that's going to be a lot less. Exercising the brain is difficult. Everybody wants instantaneous information, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna get this. I need to find out where on the graph I gotta go. Well, I know that I can't be over here. I gotta go this way. So starting at 1700 is a good bet. So let's bump this to 1700. What's my last frame out here? This comes out to 3202. That's really just pulled from memory. I can't actually see it. I saw 32 and I was like, oh yeah, 3202. I gave my kids the bad news today because exams are coming up next week. And these are my ninth graders. So they've never had an exam with me before. Um, and I don't give a whole lot of quizzes. A lot of our stuff is project based and we do a thing and it's practice and whatnot. I really do need to give more quizzes though. But as like for those of you who haven't had a test with me before, my tests are not nice. I do not do multiple choice. Multiple choice is for teaching dumb people because you don't learn from multiple choice. Like, yes, all of the certification tests that I've taken were multiple choice. The majority of the exams that I've taken have been multiple choice. You want to know how I got through most of them? I did a weekend of grinding. Seriously. For almost any certification that I have, any certification I've ever earned, I had done about a weekend of prep and then I went and took it. Why? Because it's going to be multiple choice and it's about gamifying the exam. That's not a lie. Almost every exam out there for certifications or every exam in general across the United States, I can very confidently say anybody watching right now who has a certification probably gamified the certification. There are a handful of certifications that I've taken that I didn't really prep for, and I got it because of my general knowledge. So, like, on our general, for like the teaching certifications, like the general knowledge test that we have to take, um, most people who take it fail it. They fail a good portion of it the first time. And I actually passed all of it except for the math the first time around. And so I passed all the English, all the science, all the social studies, which is really surprising because I'm really bad at social studies. Um, but it it's multiple choice, and I I'm more of a reader these days, and so I would read the thing and I would analyze the thing and I would answer the questions, that kind of thing. For the math, I had to relearn math that I just hadn't used in years. Like I was doing college level, you know, calculus and trigonometry and that sort of thing, and I wasn't really using a lot of algebra. Um, I still use algebraic stuff, but I was using mm, general things like writing formulas, and I don't even do the math anymore. I write the formulas, and the computer does all the work. So in that case, I spent about a month reteaching myself algebra and statistics. Um, but for like um, my computer science certification, did I study? Yeah, I studied. But really, it was just stuff that I already knew. And I went in there and I was able to do it. The things that I specifically studied on the computer science certification were the things I didn't know, like making sure I understood conversions from, binary to decimal and hexadecimal, being able to do that in my head, or being able to do it on paper by hand, because nobody in the real world does that. They have a calculator and they go, what is the conversion of this? Boop, boop. So I had to make sure I could do the conversions by hand. So that kind of stuff I would study. Um, for like Unity certification, I've been doing Unreal for ever. I wrote game engines with Allegro. Um, so when I took the programming certification, actually when I took the artist certification for Unity, I took it cold. I didn't even study for it. I just took it. For the programming certification for Unity. That was, I took it, and the stuff that I didn't know was just Unity stuff because I just didn't use Unity. So I spent a weekend looking into some general Unity things, and then I passed it. That kind of stuff. But you can really gamify your exams, and I don't find that to be a very good test of knowledge. So weird tirade, but that's the general gist. I don't like doing multiple choice. I want to make sure that people know what they're doing when they go to do a thing. Um, so that's my rant for the day. Anyway, I was going to do through this thing so I can figure out which stance. So he's going to be here, and then shifting back. So it looks like that shift starts to happen 24, 40, 24, 25. Yeah, 24, 25, 2, 4, 2, 5. And that goes through, and it's pretty much done. Foot is down at, I do 25, 20. And that one is a lot smoother. You see that? Anyway, I'm gonna save this here. I want to try to match the frames for it, but let's go ahead and make this. I'll do save as. This will be I'm on raw. Let me go up to cleaned. I got my right to left 01. Let me do my left to right. Mm. You know, my teaching certifications, some of those were pretty tricky. The technology and engineering test, that was just silly. Like it was a difficult test not because of there's difficulty as in hard and there's difficulty as in stupid. And it really was a test that was difficult because it was stupid. And there were questions on there that were just absurd, right? It's technology and engineering. And the people who put it together, instead of focusing on things that were practical for a specific job set, they broadened it so far to try to hit all the boxes of every possible thing that is possibly technology. Like, what is the injection molding? Like, I remember some of these things, like what is the injection molding procedure or process or temperature or whatever it is um, for styrofoam cups. I'm like, how the would I know that, right? Why would I know that? That's a very specific subset. And yes, a styrofoam cup is a technology, but it's its own thing, you know. Um, another one was like, what is the ratio of cells in a stem cell thing for um, I don't know, some goofy lab thing, and how do these specific cells behave in space when exposed to 0 G? And I'm like, but that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. Why would I know that? Those are niche things. And, if I were an astrophysicist, I might know something that bled into that. And actually, it would be like what would it be, an astrobiologist? You're studying life forms in space. I don't know how that would be. Yeah, it was just the test was so broad that it could have been on anything, and there was no real sense of focus. That's why that test was annoying. Um, there was one, again, on the technology and engineering test. There was a question that was like, if you were the business owner of, I don't know, it was like a FedEx, basically. If you had a truck route and you had so many trucks, and this was your thing, what would be the most economical way of doing your routes, or something to that effect, right? I'm like, again, why would I know that? That seems something that would be on the business side of things, not truck routes have nothing to do with technology as far as, that's a business economic thing. Um, so like I try not to do that to my students. I try to make sure that whatever's on the exam is definitely relevant, but there's pretty much no multiple choice. I might have one or two on there for there are some cases where multiple choice is useful, but those are kind of rare. And I do have a couple rare multiple choice ones on there, but it's based on what I think they need. Anyway, uh, which one am I on here? I can't see. Left to right, right? So I want to go to my right to left. This one. Sure, I'll save that. And then back on here, I'm 1 2 frame 85. So I've got 85 frames. How many frames do I have to lead in? So I've got 1 2 3 4. So I've got about 10 frames of lead in. We'll say 12. The foot starts picking up at about 12. I probably could shave that and come down a little bit to maybe here and just shave off these few frames just to make that a quicker thing. But I want to just make sure that the time from one is equal to the other. So we'll jump back over. So I have 85 frames. So left to right, we'll jump over to that one. I didn't check my lead out frames though. I really need to do that. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12-ish. I'm not too bad. Foot starts picking up right around there. And we go into the thing, and then we have a lead out. All right. On my 85th frame. There's not really any lead out. So I'm here, but then I let the foot shift. I guess it's kind of a lead out, but really it stops. As soon as that foot is in position, I cut it. Careful, she's spying on you.
I see you. Don't you do it. Would you consider it? Think about it. None of the things. Ah,
Okay, so this one. Same kind of dealio. No lead out. You can see the foot position on this one's a lot better. Foot's up, down in position, and then out. I probably could just go this way and then that way. This one's really smooth on both sides. I'm half tempted to just use this one for both. Just because it looks like it is that smooth. You can see the weight shift. He leans and then shifts the hip back. This one, not so much, but I really am half tempted to use that. Like a little bit more than half tempted, because that's just a good, yeah. One. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off and I will uh, update you on future progress. Hmm. Thank you for joining me.